Welcome back to Academic Reports in English. In this lesson we will look at formatting your report, and this means trying to make your report or paper look as good as possible. So let's get to it. When you format a report, you have many choices about what it looks like. These include how much white space you might want to use, the fonts and the letter size that you choose, any text effects such as bold or italics, and whether you have headings or subheadings. A clear, attractive look can make the reader feel very positive about reading your report. Imagine that there are two reports with identical content. The words are exactly the same, but one looks better than the other. The good-looking one will appeal more and is likely to get a higher mark, or be considered for publication more than the less attractive one. It's worth taking your time so that your writing looks good. Our first tip to edit the report and make it look good is to have plenty of white space. Here we have our model report, and you can see the title. And then we have a gap to the first paragraph, and then after the first paragraph we have another gap. After the second paragraph we have another gap. And these are called block paragraphs, and these are a very nice way to create white space and make it look good. It's quite common to have the first word of a paragraph to be indented, and let's just show you that. And one more. And this indentation system is very common, but I prefer the block paragraphs because there's more white space, and to me that looks very nice. Our second area for formatting is to choose a font. There are an amazing number of fonts. Let's just have a look at our model report. If we go up to here, and you can see already there's a long list of about 20, and we're still on A down here. Fonts can be divided into 4 different types, and I've listed them here. The first is serif, and they have little curly feet, and they are a serif font such as Times New Roman, which I've used in the model report, is very easy to read. Sans serif looks a little bit modern and a sort of sensible kind of font, and examples of sans serif are Helvetica and Verdana. Quite a common combination in presentations and in academic writing is to have the headings in sans serif and to have the text in serif. So let's just take our heading here and change that to a sans serif. Helvetica I really like. Okay, and you can see that combination of a sans serif font choice for the title and then a serif for the main part of the report is quite an attractive combination. The two other types of font are script and decorative, and to be honest I don't really recommend those for academic reports, but you might want to use them for some special text effects. A third area to make your report look good is the question of line spacing. If you go to the menu, as in our model report, and click on line spacing, you can see different options. 1 or single space, 1.5, 2, and even bigger 3. Single space can look quite cramped, and it's hard for a teacher or a reviewer to leave comments. So many publications often require you to write with double space. We think 1.5 is a good compromise. If you want to change your line space, what you have to do is just highlight and go to the menu, and it's at 1 at the moment. Let's make it 2, and you can see it's a much bigger space between the lines. A connected area with line space is alignment. Again, if you go to the top here, you can see this says align left. Just for fun, we can align right, and the common alternative is to centrally space so the words are somewhat stretched out. So that will depend on your teacher or the publication how to do that. I prefer to have them left aligned. Our final main area for formatting is that of text effects. And there are 3 main ones. Let me just highlight them on the menu. This is bold, italics and underline. You probably want to just use 1 or 2 for your academic report. For example, you might want to use bold for the title. So to do that, we just highlight the title and then click on bold. You can also use a keyboard shortcut, which is usually Command B. And in the text, if you want to highlight, for example, the quotation here, let's highlight Art of Collaboration and go to italics, for example. And that makes it, has a nice effect. Too many text effects can be a little distracting, so I would recommend just have 2 or 3 in your reports. One final tip is that if you want to clear your formatting and start again, on most word processing programs there is an easy way to do that. I'm in Word here, so if we just highlight where we want to change the formatting, go to the menu, you can see a little eraser here, and it says clear all formatting. There you go, it gets rid of the font, the bold and the italics, and then you can start again if you want to change your the look of your report. If you're writing for a journal or a book, or you're a university student, you may be asked to use a specific style. This is sometimes called a house style. This means the different formats that a publication or a university uses. Publishers and universities, they don't want writers to send them papers in many different kinds of styles, so they give a set of rules for the format that you should use. So the first thing that you need to do is to check the house style that you are required to use, and these are usually available online. As we saw in lessons 7 and 8, one very time-consuming area is often the references, both inside the paper and the reference list at the end of the paper. This might vary according to house style, by order of information, by the type of information you have to use, whether you need to use bold or italics, and so on. There are various software applications you can use which will change your referencing styles, but you still have to input the information, which can be a lot of hard work. In this lesson we have learned about formatting, and basically this means using white space, different fonts and text effects to make sure that your report looks good. Look at your own reports. Do you have enough white space? Is it easy to read? Have you chosen a pleasing font? If you have to use a house style for a publication or a university, have you done it correctly? In our next and final lesson we look at one topic which is closely connected to formatting, and that is editing. See you there.